Hey there. Before we get into this episode of the Hey Kahla Podcast, I want to share with you my free download called Holiday Conversation Starters, the Festive Edition. This is my free downloadable cheat sheet of festive conversation starters. I've included the situations you would use them in, tips on when and how to use them, and I've even included follow-up questions and comments. I have got you covered with this thing because whether it's a family shindig, an office get-together, a cozy friends party, I want to give you ideas that will equip you to combat that nervousness, right? So you can relax, be yourself, and most importantly, have fun while you are at these gatherings. The idea here is that you're not yearning to run to the door and run home as soon as possible for your warm cup of cocoa and snuggling in your favorite blankie at your own house. Too much. So you can download Holiday Conversation Starters, the Festive Edition, on my website at heykahla.com/festive. Again, that's heykahla.com/festive. All right, let's get into this episode. Hey there, and welcome to the Hey Kahla Podcast. I'm your host, Kayla Evans, and since we are full-fledged into the holiday season at the time that I'm recording this, I want to talk about self-care strategies because it is so freaking easy, right, to get swept up in the whirlwind of everything we've got going on. You know, the festivities, the family gatherings, the parties, school concerts, work events, shopping, cooking, hosting, on and on and on and on and on. Like choose your own adventure, fill in your own blank there. There's a lot to do. Or there's a lot we feel like we should be doing. And while the holidays are a time for joy and celebration, at least that's what we tell ourselves, they can also be a time of massive stress and overwhelm. Because let's be honest, we're, yes, heading into 2025, but life just overall can be stressful and overwhelming, right? Before you even add in the holiday season. So I want to help you. If you would like my help, my advice on this, because over here, I am all about prioritizing self-care, especially during this period. Yes, all year long, but especially now during the holidays, because we want to enjoy it, right? Not just survive it. I've definitely had holidays and Christmas seasons where I'm I just got to get through this. And that last year was my entire MO. I just got to get through this. I just got to survive it. I just got to get past Christmas. Just have to get past Ukrainian Christmas, right? And then we'll be in the clear. And it sucked. And I never want to do that again. So if you're kind of feeling me on this, you are in the right place. Because as your friend, and of course, as a confidence coach who is pretty much dedicating their life to helping folks on their personal development journey, I have some really unique self-care strategies, I think. And even if you've heard of them before, I've got some really non-cliché ways to make them work even better for you to help you navigate this holiday season so that we're avoiding those massive meltdowns and we're not pitching a complete fit as grown-ass adults. So, number one, I want you to get your ass out in nature. Connecting with nature can be a deeply spiritual experience for the mind and the soul. It's free, it's simple, it's easy for most of us to do. Nature walks, they allow you to ground yourself and find that inner calm, especially, amongst that holiday chaos. Plus, it's way quieter out there. It's way quieter out there amongst the trees than it probably is in your household. But here's where it gets a little different. Instead of the old, go for a walk, clear your mind advice, here's my spin on it. I want you to choose a place that resonates with you. Even if you have to get in the car and drive to get there and then go for a walk once you're there, a local park or a forest, a garden type area outside the city, favorite gravel road where you grew up. That's my go-to. Wherever you feel at ease, I want you to go somewhere, again, even if you have to drive there, I want you to go somewhere where you feel a sense of belonging. That's going to make a huge difference. Then as you walk, I want you to really focus on your breath. Feel your breath, listen to your breath. I want you to feel the rhythm of your steps. I want you to look around, notice the trees, the sound of the wind. Hopefully wind chill's not too bad for you, or the texture of the snow beneath your feet. I want you to really be in that moment. And then finally, I want you to use this time to reflect on your thoughts and feelings, right? Just check in with yourself. How am I really doing? And with every step, I want you to just imagine that you're releasing the stress or the negative emotions with each step and with each exhale. So each step, each exhale, I think I have a yoga mat that says like inhale the love, exhale the bullshit, or a coffee mug, or I have something like that from a yoga studio. And that's what I imagine when I'm walking and when I'm breathing. So number one, get your ass out in nature. Easy, free. Number two, and this is going to be the point where a lot of people are like, nah, I'm not listening to you again. I want you to get off your phone. And again, this one is big and folks fail at it all of the time, but it's honestly the thing that can make the biggest difference in our peace of mind and our sense of calm. If you are my age or older, we didn't grow up with cell phones. We didn't have cell phones, right? And so I think it's easier maybe for us to go without social media because it hasn't been every single day of our lives. But for some of like my younger clients who may be in their early 20s, this one is a little bit tough for some people. Or if you're a caregiver, yes, it's really hard to get off your phone, take a break from your devices. So I want you to think of this as more of taking a break off social media. And this, again, it's huge. I get it. Like this is a super radical act of self-care. It's going to get you out of consumption. You're right. You're not taking in everybody else's content, everybody else's perfect Christmas tree and perfect gift wrapping and their family vacation to Hawaii or, escaping the cold weather, right? Like you're not consuming that kind of stuff. And then you're not comparing yourself with others like, oh, I'm not doing that. Why aren't I doing that? Why do I opt for gift bags with tissue paper? Because I can't wrap anything worth heck, right? So it gets you out of that. And it instead allows you to reconnect with your inner self and your world, like your real world around you, right? How many times have we been at like a gathering and you look around and everybody's on their phone? So it gets you into the real world, like your living room, your dining room, wherever you are, and with the people around you. And if you're cringing still and I haven't convinced you yet, let me walk you through my more practical advice here. Because yes, I do not have kiddos, so it's easy for me to just peace out, get off the phone. So if you are a caregiver or you grew up with social media, your phone, like you can't put it down, here's how you can kind of ease yourself into it. I want you to choose the time frame in advance, like whatever makes sense to you and your needs. Like pick a day or an afternoon or even a few hours, right? I guess that would be the afternoon. Pick a time in advance and try to choose a time when you can go completely offline, right? Like you don't have meetings scheduled, obviously. You're not, waiting for a call for your kiddo to go pick them up. Choose a time that works best for you. And then let your friends and family know in advance that you're going to be unreachable for that time, right? Even if you have to say like, I'm busy doing something else, because you will be, let them know that, I'm not available, but I'm okay. Then I want you to make the most of that screen-free time, right? And first, rediscover the things that you really love, even if it's just sitting down and reading a book. Trying a new recipe, maybe making jewelry, even, decluttering your spare room or your closet, right? We're all talking about having fresh starts for the new year. Anything that's an activity that doesn't require screens. I want you to get busy. You could get busy, you know what I mean? Like you could really fill this time with anything, whatever you need, go ahead. And then this is important. At the end of this detox, I want you to actually journal about the experience, right? Like, what did you learn? Did you, realize that you miss doing something or that you really love this, but you don't have time for it in your day anymore? I want you to ask yourself, like, how did this really affect my mood and my mindset? And then I want you to think like, can I actually work a window like this into my week? Again, even if it's just for a few hours, just completely phone free to rediscover yourself and what you love most, or do something good for yourself. This is such an amazing opportunity to really listen to ourselves. And what I find personally is like, if I don't have the noise of the internet blasting at me all the time, I can tune into my own thoughts more, and I know how I feel about things. Like as weird as that feels, or as weird as that sounds, I'm always in touch with my feelings and my emotions. But when I'm away from everybody else's thoughts and inputs and, even the inspirational quotes, I love those things, yes. But when I'm off of social media and it's quiet, I really get in touch with what I think and what I feel. And that's when I get some of my best ideas. It's also like a really good reset so that you can, go back into your world after your digital detox with a clearer, more focused mind. So give yourself this gift, give it a shot, no matter how tough it seems at first. Yes, obviously, if you're a caregiver, keep your ringer on. You know how to caregive. I don't need to tell you that. But try to stay off the socials. So that's number two. I guess it would be like a digital detox. Just get off your phone. And then number 3, and this is, again, a really easy one. You just got to give it some thought. I want you to create a personal ritual. Now, when I say a ritual, I don't mean your routine, right? Like that's what you do because you have to get things done. I don't want you to make like a list of like 50 things you need to do. No. What I mean by ritual is a very simple action that is more meaningful and grounding. So it's like one thing, generally. That's how I think of ritual. It's like one thing that I do. It's a special moment for you to really focus on yourself. Again, check in with how you are doing and how you are really feeling. Because if you're in touch with how you're feeling, you know what you need, and that will help you avoid, again, those meltdowns and pitching a fit and having a full-on adult temper tantrum. If you're kind of like stuffing your emotions down and you don't know how you're doing, you may have an rupture at Christmas dinner, and we want to try to avoid that, right? Don't unleash on your family at this time of year if you can help it. Take care of yourself. So rituals are really great because they bring us like this sense of structure and meaning to our lives, right? Like we are taking this moment for us. And again, like I just said, it really helps us kind of honor our needs and priorities. And then that helps us maintain that balance and well-being. So again, no fits are being pitched here. But especially during the holiday season, you can make them like really specific to this season, and that can be really grounding and give us like that connection that I think some of us sometimes are missing to the holiday season, right? You look around, you see everybody appears to be so joyous and connected and happy and laughing, and they're like relishing in the festive spirit. And if you're somebody who's really not, this can be a great way to kind of get your own sense of the festive ho-ho going. So here are my tips to building just a simple ritual that works for you. I want you to first just give it some thought and identify what you need most during this time, right? Is it relaxation? Do you have some days off and you just want to peace out? I need to relax. Is it getting back in touch with your creative side? Like maybe all I do is work, and I don't create anything for fun. I want to get in touch with that side of myself again. Is it maybe connecting with others? Like maybe you work alone, live alone, and you really want to connect with your family or friends. Like just ask yourself what you need more of in your life and what would feel best for you, and then design your ritual around that. So I want you to first incorporate some things that make you feel really good and resonate with you, right? Like light a candle, play some music. I love pulling an affirmation card, maybe grab a crystal. Then I want you to actually do your ritual. So for me, my new afternoon ritual this holiday season is I make a matcha. It's really not that festive, but like I turn on my Christmas tree lights and my twinkle lights. I have like a holiday spicy, like kind of cinnamony candle. I light that. I play like a classic country Christmas playlist. And then I make my matcha in the afternoon. And it's just so peaceful. It's so calming. And it just makes me feel so great. Like I actually look forward to it. And that really helps. Like obviously we don't want to do things that like, don't pick a ritual that you think is like a ritual that's hidden as a task. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I have to do this. So I'm going to trick myself into doing something on my to-do list I don't want to do. Nah, this is just for you. So mine is I make myself a matcha every afternoon. You could just practice some yoga, or do some stretching. You could do some breath work. You could write, you could paint, anything. Like the key here is just to do something that feels really authentic and nourishing for your soul. And then my last thing I have to say about this, and this is probably the most important thing, make it a regular practice, whether it's daily like my matcha making or it's weekly, because consistency is going to really help reinforce those positive effects of your ritual and get you through the holiday season. And you can continue your ritual or you can change it up as we move into, January, February, so on, so on. So there you have it. My 3 pretty easy ways, maybe not ditching the socials, but my 3 best ways to keep your vibe and your spirits really high during the holidays. So to recap, number 1, get your ass out in nature. Number 2, get off your phone or at least off social media. Whew. And number 3 is create a personal ritual, something that's really authentic and nourishing for you. Because remember, like no matter like how much society has told us our whole lives really, the holiday season, it really can be a time of joy and reflection, not stress and exhaustion. You don't have to do the most, be everywhere, do everything that we see. I always feel weird saying this, like in the media, because obviously I'm a former member of the media, but like what TV and radio and even the Hallmark movies, as much as I love them, and social media, like whatever society is portraying to us, you don't have to buy into all of that, right? Like you can try out these self-care strategies. You can nurture your body, take care of your mind, your spirit, do what's best for you this holiday season, because again, it really can be a time of joy and celebration. We can avoid the stress and exhaustion if we just put a little bit of thought into it. And another huge reminder, like self-care is not a luxury. It's not. Like it's a necessity. If you don't have you and you don't have your health, like you really have nothing. And then the people around you have nothing because they don't have you operating at your healthiest. So I want you to give yourself permission to play, explore some new practices, find what truly resonates with you. And if you want to go ahead and share your rituals, feel free to DM me on Insta. I'm there at Hey Kahla. You can also email me at info@heykahla.com. And please share this episode with anyone else who you think might need a reminder this season to take care of themselves. It's one of those things that, yeah, I know. And it's one of those things we hear all the time, but how many of us are actually implementing something into our days to take care of ourselves? So sharing is caring for sure. I want to thank you, as always, so much for tuning in, and I hope you have the best week.